Carlia? She's still alive? I feared she'd befallen the same fate, ending up a victim of Mercer's betrayal. Nothing would bring me more pride than to return the key, but I'm afraid it's impossible. From the moment I arrived here, I felt myself, well, dying. The sepulchre isn't merely a temple or a vault to house the key. Within these walls is the Ebonmere, a conduit to Nocturnal's realm of Everglow. When Mercer stole the key, that conduit closed, severely limiting our ties to her. I'm afraid so. I'm weakening, and I can feel myself slipping away. The years without restoration of my power have taken their toll. Whatever damage has been caused can only be corrected by following the pilgrim's path to the Ebonmere and replacing the key. With the Ebonmere closed, and their sudden severance from the realm of Everglow, I fear they've undergone a drastic change. They're shadows of their former selves. They no longer remember their true purpose or their original identities. My spirit didn't manifest itself in the sepulchre immediately, so fortunately I wasn't present when the Ebonmere was sealed. However, ever since that day, I've felt my power waning, slowly draining away. I wish I could help you, but I've been a prisoner in this very chamber for the last quarter century. The only possible help I've come across are the remains of some poor fellow who is trying to follow in your footsteps. Perhaps his journal can help? Whatever is affecting the Nightingale Sentinels is starting to affect me too. As I get closer to the Ebonmere, I begin to feel myself slipping away. Even right this moment, I feel strange, when I don't think I should be feeling anything at all. The Ebonmere is a conduit through which Nocturnal influences our world. Not through magic or blessings, but purely through luck. Yes, absolutely. Your skill is your own. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. But Nocturnal, she influences our luck. Nearly imperceptible assistance we get when we ply our trade. Think about the guild, about the state it was in when you began. Think about all the little things you might have heard. A pick breaking when it shouldn't have. The clouds in the nighttime sky clearing at the wrong moment. Our access to those bits of luck are what separates us from common bandits. Precisely. There are a few who still call Nocturnal Lady Luck, and for good reason. Good luck, Nightingale.
What? Nakas!
shall fear the dead.
What? Nakas!
Yes, my friend. How may I help? Yes, my friend.
Wood, Lakas! Wood, Lakas! Wood, Lakas! Wood, Lakas! Wood, nah!
someone lived among the dead.
It's been a number of years since I've set foot on your world. Or perhaps it's been moments. One tends to lose track. So, once again, the key has been stolen, and a champion returns it to the sepulchre. Now that the Ebonmere has been restored, you stand before me awaiting your accolades. A pat on your head, a kiss on your cheek. What you fail to realize is your actions were expected and represent nothing more than the fulfillment of your agreement. Don't mistake my tone for displeasure. After all, you've obediently performed your duties to the letter. But we both know this has little to do with honor and oaths and loyalty. It's about the reward, the prize. Fear not. You'll have your trinkets, your desire for power, your hunger for wealth. I bid you to drink deeply from the Ebonmere, mortal, for this is where the agent of Nocturnal is born. The oath has been struck, the die has been cast, and your fate awaits you in the Everglow. Farewell, Nightingale. See to it the king stays this time, won't you?
I'm glad you were able to bring the key back safely. Nocturnal seemed quite pleased with your efforts. I wouldn't take that to heart. It's her way. Think of her as a scolding mother continually pushing you harder to be successful, outwardly sounding angry, but silently content. I assure you, had she been displeased with you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The circles at the base of the Ebonmere imbue you with powers befitting a Nightingale agent. The crescent moon represents the agent of shadow, the half moon for the agent of subterfuge, and the full moon for the agent of strife. This is Nocturnal's way of maintaining balance. If you ever feel the need to change your abilities, you can return to the Sepulchre and step onto a different circle. Be warned that once you've chosen, you can't reselect for at least a day. Now, your life as a Nightingale begins. Should the need arise, you'll be summoned to the Sepulchre in order to defend it. The Guild has welcomed me back with open arms. I feel like a void in my life has finally been filled. I only hope that this isn't an ending to things, but actually the beginning. Why, perhaps the greatest crime spree Skyrim's ever known. There are pockets brimming with coin, and coffers overflowing with riches ripe for the picking. We may be Nightingales, but in our hearts we're still thieves, and we're damn good at what we do. Gallus, Mercer Frey and I were once members of what's known as the Nightingale Trinity. The Trinity disbanded 25 years ago when Mercer Frey betrayed us by slaying Gallus and dumping his body in the ruins of Snowvale Sanctum. Indirectly, the Trinity is usually selected from the ranks of the Guild, although its existence is a closely guarded secret. The Nightingales protect the Temple of Nocturnal, a place known as the Twilight Sepulchre. She's the mistress of night and darkness, and the patron of every thief in Tamriel. Nocturnal isn't one for worship and reverence. There are no priests and no sermons, no services, and no alms. She influences our luck, and in return, you're closer to understanding than you. The only difference is she doesn't demand payment in the tradition, whether you know it or not. Nocturnal dictates how well we perform as rogues. Again, you have to think differently. Like a novice picking an impossible lock, or a blind man suddenly turning to face you as you reach for his pocket. It's through these subtle means that Nocturnal's whim is the greatest mystery to everyone. There have been volumes written on the subject. Does she exact payment when we die? When we suffer, does she revel in our misery? No one knows. The return certainly seems worth the risk, though. The agent of subterfuge utilizes shadow to cloud the judgment of those around him. By weaving the darkness to their will, this agent can manipulate others into fighting for the Nightingale for a limited time. The agent of stealth is the master of remaining unseen. They are able to manipulate the darkness and use it to their advantage. On moonlit nights or in darkened rooms, this agent literally becomes invisible. This agent of strife can send forth a tendril of pure darkness into the heart of another, causing great injury to them. At the same time, this tether will bolster the agent's own life force, making him stronger. The agent of subterfuge utilizes by weaving the darkness to their will, this agent can manipulate others into fighting for the Nightingale for a limited time. This agent of strife can send forth at the same time. This tether will the agent of by weaving the darkness to their will. This agent can manipulate others into... Yes, fellow Nightingale? Farewell. Eyes open, and walk with the shadows. Gallus! I feared I would never see you again. I was afraid you'd become like the others.
If it were not for the actions of this Nightingale, your fears would have come true. He honors us all.
What will you do now, my love?
Nocturnal calls me to the Everglow. My contract has been fulfilled.
Will I ever see you again?
When your debt to Nocturnal has been paid, we'll embrace once again.
Farewell, Gallus. Eyes open. Walk with the shadows.
Goodbye, Carlyle.
Yes, Nightingale? What is it? If this place is in danger ever again, the shadows will call. Should the need arise, a portal connects the Sepulchre and Nightingale Hall. Use it whenever you wish. Farewell. Eyes open, and walk with the shadows. Gallus's oath has been paid. His actions have satisfied the terms. Now his spirit becomes one with the Everglow, the realm of perpetual twilight and the cradle of shadow. No, not gone. He's become one with the shadows. This is the greatest honor a Nightingale can possibly achieve. In death, he's become a part of that which we used to live. Absolutely. When we say, walk with the shadows, we are asking those Nightingales who have passed on to protect us. It's believed that they are literally what guides our uncanny luck, by placing their hands in ours. That's why the Ebonmere needed to be reopened. Without it, there's no way Nocturnal was able to allow them through. I've decided to make my home at Nightingale Hall. Since it's your home as well, I hope to see you and Brynjolf there. Of course, I may visit some of Skyrim's cities to acquire things from time to time. Can't afford to get rusty now, can we? Farewell. Eyes open, and walk with the shadows. Farewell. Eyes open, and walk with the shadows. Yes, Nightingale? What is it? Farewell. Eyes open, and walk with the shadows.
Wood, Nakas! 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 Wood, Nakas!
I've got your back. Lead on.
Wood, Nakas!
Perhaps we can go another few decades without a disaster. That would be nice. Ah, that's excellent news. This will be most helpful in furthering my research. I'm afraid I can't offer you much right now, but please take this. And perhaps, if this is all successful... Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's too early to be getting excited. Still, this is most encouraging. Thank you again. If I require anything else, I shall be sure and let you know. As a matter of fact, there is something you can do for me. I had retained Enther's services in, acquiring something specific. But now he's refusing to deliver. Could you perhaps speak with him and see if we can come to some sort of arrangement? Uh-huh.
Ancano is exactly why we're so restrictive about access to the college. We'd all have perished if it weren't for you.
So did Delvin send you again, or are you here on your own this time? I'm assuming you're here for more than a social call. Down to business, eh? So did Delvin send you again, or are you here on your own this time? Business? Business is actually inconsequential to me. I share little of your lust for coin. However, as promised, I'll still be more than happy to take any stolen merchandise off your hands. Oh dear. He's so afraid to talk to me, he's sending you to do it? I should have expected as much. I'm afraid you've been a little misinformed. I have something of mine that I was going to sell to Arniel. With all due respect, Archmage, I'm not in a position to just give this away. I told Arniel what I wanted in exchange for it, and he was unwilling to come up with it. Now, if you're here on his behalf, I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist on my original payment. I have a friend, let's say, who's interested in a staff. A particular one. It's nothing dangerous, so don't worry. I'm not even sure why he wants it, but then that's not really my concern. He's willing to pay for it. The problem is that it'll be a little difficult to acquire, seeing as how it's in the hands of someone who isn't exactly friendly. So you bring that staff back here, and I'll consider it payment for the item Arniel was after. Give my regards to Carlia if you see her.
Look at that! A cave! Who knows what could be down there?
Wood Nakas! 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 Wood! Wood! Wood Nakas! 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 Wood! 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 Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood! Wood Nakas! Wood Na! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Nakas! Wood Lakas! Wood Lakas! Wood Lakas! Wood Lakas! Wood!
I'm assuming you're here for more than a social call. Down to business, eh? I'm always on the lookout for all... Well. All right. You delivered on your end, so I'll deliver on mine. Here's the gem Arniel was after. Can't imagine what he expects to do with that. It's warped beyond any ability to capture a soul.
Perhaps we can go another few decades without a disaster. That would be nice. Do you? Wonderful. I was afraid I'd have to give up. And when I'm so close. Thank you for this. I have a great deal of work ahead of me. Divines bless you. May the ground you walk quake as you... Perhaps we can go another few... Terrible, just terrible. I vastly underestimated the heat transfer necessary, and have destroyed my only working model. I'm at a loss. Don't patronize me. Look, it's all very simple. The Dwemer, they were, masters of magic in a way we can't even begin to conceive of. Their greatest achievement, however, has also been their greatest, shall we say, mystery. Their disappearance, of course. Instant, unexplainable. The stories have fascinated me, ever since I was young. I wanted to know what really happened. After years and years of work, I'm closing in on a way to investigate what happened through experimentation. Only now, well, it's simply a disaster. Without boring you with the details, I'm attempting to recreate the circumstances of the event. The dwarves were very clever, tapping into and drawing power from the heart of Lorcan itself. Lacking the heart of a dead god myself, I was attempting to substitute a rather specific soul gem, the one you helped me acquire. Well, yes, I mean, no. That is, it might, but I'm not completely sure. I'm no tonal architect. I've only read their writings. Scraps, really. The soul gem by itself isn't enough, you see. It needs to be altered, purified. The dwarves had machines for this sort of thing. I've attempted to build my own, based on designs and using parts you helped to provide. My very own dwarven convector. It worked, but not fully, and the device was destroyed in the process. No! I'm too close now. Can't take the time. Though, perhaps there's another option. I may require further assistance from you. Well, yes. The designs for my convector were based on real dwarven machines, so there may still be some in existence. I'd go looking myself, but... yes, there are calculations to double and triple check. Many calculations. Perhaps you could seek out these convectors in Skyrim ruins. I can even teach you the spell to heat them. It's very particular and very important. Wonderful. Just wonderful. I knew I could count on you. Now, this spell is not for defending yourself, but it's just right for heating the convector. At least 3 seconds burn is necessary. Just place the soul gem inside and heat the convector. At least 3 seconds. You'll almost certainly need to find multiple convectors. I suspect it may be due to the nature of the soul gem versus the crystals this was intended for. Destroys the equipment in the process. But, it's effective. 3 times, and the crystal should be ready for the next step. Isn't this exciting? Until next time. Perhaps we can go another few decades without a disaster. That would be nice. Perhaps we can go another few decades without a disaster. That would be nice. The exact nature of my research is... I don't think anyone here when I've finished what I'm working on. Yes? Yes?
What? Ah! What? Nakas! 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 What?